Y'all remember that scene in Do the Right Thing where ML, Coconut, and Sweet Thick Willie were sitting on the street corner, and Coconut said, "You dumb, simple mofo. Where you learn it from?"
Yeah, where did Airris learn that ish from?
Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about Lifetime Network's reality-based TV series, Married at First Sight, season number 16, episode number 10.
But before we get into it, please like, share, subscribe, send us your comments about Aries and his foolishness. But we are a little late with these videos because we were out of the country. We went to somewhere where we loved for the first time. We're back and we're trying to catch up. So here we go.
This episode begins with Airris having contracted the C virus and trying to recover from that.
Yeah, and he was complaining that Jasmine, with her schedule, she was not taking care of him. And as a caregiver,
He would
rated
rate him,
her as a 7.
"You dumb,
Shut your mouth. Does he understand that what he got going on with him is a disease that spreads, someone will need to be around you when that's happening with you? Does he understand that? Or did he
Obviously not.
understand that?
Obviously not. There's a
Because he
quarantine situation that's got to be, adhered to,
and
and
he's talking about where she at, why he wants her to feed him. Oh, poor
he
baby.
wants to be taken care of because they are married now. Why don't you take care of thinking properly? How about that? About your spouse? How about that?
Anyway, I think he said the following day she made him some vegetable soup. He was now out of quarantine, and he decided, as a thank you gift, to take Jasmine and Duchess to
Her
a
dog, right?
pet spa
Mhm.
so he can wash Duchess.
Right, to show her that he's all in and getting more and more comfortable with the fact that she's a multiple dog owner.
That ain't true.
Um,
That's just play talk right
right,
there.
right, and
Eris is not trying to get anywhere close to Jasmine.
yeah, I don't see that in any legitimate way
No.
either. You can tell by his body language
Yeah.
where he's like kind of like
Yeah. When they
leaned
get
back
back
and he's
to the
not very
house,
expressive
when they
or
go back to the house
right,
and they're having a conversation
right.
whether she is falling for him, and she said no. At one point in his life, well, when he was 26 years
No,
old,
he was 28,
28 years
39 now,
old,
right at the time of this.
he felt like he was about to fall in love, and the woman broke it off,
Mhm.
and he didn't want to be at the house eating ice cream and listening to R&B
Right.
music.
So for the next decade or so,
He decided that he's not gonna love any woman.
right, he'll just go for the surface level stuff and
Yes.
and be okay or content with that.
Again, why is Iris on the show?
Mm.
He has restricted himself from falling in love for over 10 years because of a hurt he had when he was 28 years old.
And has yet to deal with and or address or to work his way through.
He had a never have I ever situation with
Yeah,
Jasmine.
questions game. I guess that kind
And
of
he came
proceeded.
up with and whoever
That's an activity for them to go through, right?
exactly.
Right. Hmm.
And of course, you could see the deviant stuff in his eyes when he's talking to her, and he wants to know if she has ever kissed a woman. And and she says no. And he goes on to ask her if she's ever had sex with people watching. Again, the whole phenomenon that he wants to deal with.
Yeah, it's almost as
It makes no sense.
it's almost as though he feels like if she hasn't had those kinds of experiences, then for some in some warped or distorted way, he's not or she's not what
She's
she's
not
not
smart.
worthy of him.
She's boring.
Right, right. She's not
Then
worthy of him.
she said, "No, I've never done that. I thought you had threesomes." He said, "No, it wasn't a threesome. It was an orgy."
And then the producer asked him,
How many orgies has he
right,
participated in?
right,
And he didn't answer.
right.
And she said, for her mental health, she doesn't want to know
Hmm.
how many orgies he participated in. Again, the experts didn't know that this man was a deviant.
I
And
think
then he tells her she should have already gone through all this before she even got married,
He's
based on his standards.
he must have hit that choker smoker before he had that session because he's talking that crazy ish. All right. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I don't know where the hell his mind was. And Jasmine clearly didn't want to know, and I damn sure didn't want to know either because what was coming out of his mouth was all kinds of stupidity.
He wants a woman who has been sheared and then he participates with her. They have this open relationship with sex and all this other stuff that doesn't help or assist or promote good marriage or a healthy marriage point of view. He wants someone who could be debased and who is perverse just like he is.
And you could clearly see by her reaction to this game.
Repulsed.
Right. She was like, this is not getting us closer together. This is taking us further apart.
Maybe it was part of the plan so she could say, "Hey, I'm out," and whatever
Right.
he
And
does.
so he's not feeling her. So that
Right.
would be his
He's
out
not.
as well.
He's not feeling her. This man is not to be messed with.
Right.
He doesn't seem like he has a committed bone in his body. The only thing he is committed to be in the streets. That's his choice. Go at it, brother. This is who he is, a perverse human being.
Deviant mofo, huh?
Yes, who wants that street action? So I say, have at it. Go get who you've been dealing with or dallying with, and just exit stage right. The desires of his heart about wanting to be married, she is not out there. He is gonna be 50, 60, 70. We've seen them. We've seen brothers just like that. They're still out there in the game.
Old school
Old
players.
school players.
Old school players, yeah, who still don't understand that now that you're in this latter stage or this stage of your life, you can look behind you and see a whole lot of carnage.
He has a choice to choose one or the other. It's as plain as day.
But it seems like he's continued to keep that pattern going where he doesn't want to deal with constructively the hurt and all that he's dealt with. So rather than deal with that or face that or confront that, he just wants to continue on with something that
What man wants to know that somebody else has been with their woman or vice versa?
dudes don't want to know about any of that. Okay. Dudes don't want to know anything about that.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself. And I say everybody got a choice. This world is now information is fast, loose, and important. And if he decides that this stimulation is much better than elevating himself and getting out of that pit, go at it.
Hey, listen, as far as I'm concerned, he is on that edge of that cliff, and
The edge,
yeah, he's wrong. He's on the edge, right there, right there. Okay, and no matter how much he might try to convince us as viewers that he really wants to be married and all of that, hey, bruh, your body language and your actions speak a whole lot louder than what you're talking right now.
because sometimes you try stuff, you want to experiment, you try, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe that thing you want to experiment
Mm-hmm.
is there to take your life,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
your whole life.
Yep.
Because then when it gets you, it don't intend to cut you loose.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And this is where Airris is.
He seemingly
It,
wants
it,
to be.
he wants to get out, but
Mm-hmm.
he can't. It reminds me of that song by the Eagles, Hotel California.
Mm-hmm.
You could check in anytime you like,
Mm-hmm.
but you can never leave.
Mm,
What does that
check it.
sound like to you?
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna lift the brother up in prayer because he had a rough start. The destruction of your family can't be an easy thing, and he's misguided. But right through here, he is making a clear and distinct choice. And once someone makes a choice, they gotta get to the end of themselves before they decide. Self, I am better than this. I don't belong here and go and run the other way. Does not like anything about her. If she acted the way he acted, she'll be fine. She has to decide that this guy is not for me right here, right now.
Well,
It's up to God to change his heart, for him to open his mind so he can get some light going on. But right through here, this dude needs to get away from I need to be as far away from this dude as I
That's
possibly
what
can.
Jasmine needs to do, no question about it.
Okay, that's all we have. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Please send us your comments.
Open his eyes to see what's really valuable out of life and see the value in other people and not trying to kind of mold them into what he's familiar with and are comfortable with based on his own experiences.
Right, right.
No question.
Have a good one.
See y'all.
Bye bye.